Hey guys, Vick here and welcome to another review. Happy New Year! Today we are looking at the brand new Innokin iSub range, the new clearomizer range from Innokin just released. We're looking at the Apex 5, which is this one. Comes in this box. We are looking at the iSub S, the red one, which is the temperature control one, which comes with two NI 200 heads. We're looking at the blue one, which is Flavors and Clouds, and comes with one Clapton head and one Canthal head. And we're looking at that. We're looking at the Clapton coils a little bit. We're looking at the nickel coils a little bit. And we're looking at the TI coils a little bit. So we'll just cover these new upgraded clearomizers. I've decided to do these in a separate video because I feel like they're going to fly under the radar with a lot of people because they come with the kits, the Coolfire kit, the Apex, the Cortex kit, and all those things. But actually, they are available in their own right as standalone Sub Ohm Clearomizers. And they've got a lot going for them as well, so I wanted to get a video out about these. So we'll take a look. This is the Apex 5 on the RX 200, and I've got the iSub S with a titanium coil on the Cortex. So we'll go down low and I'll really quickly show you the improvements and upgrades in these new clearomizers. Then we'll come back up top and I'll tell you about how they vape. See you in a second. Okay guys, here we are down low with the iSub Clearomizer range. The first one here on your right is the iSub Apex, the original version, and this has now been superseded by this, the iSub S. Now the iSub S can come in two ways. It can come as the iSub temperature control, which comes with two TI heads, 0.1 TI heads, and it comes in a red pack. Or it can come in a Flavor and Clouds version, which is the Canthal version if you're not a temperature fanboy, and it comes with the Clapton head and a Canthal head, and it comes like that. So looking at the two, as you can see, they've moved the airflow from the top to the bottom, and it now goes round like this. That's fully open, and then closing it down to little holes like this, closed off there. So you can go down to one tiny hole, but it doesn't really have any heads that sort of match that. So I mean, I'm using it like this. I'm using it pretty much like that. That's where I'm at. So the airflow's gone down to the bottom, but it still tastes and feels the same as a vape. The other major thing is the window. You can see it has got a lovely big protected window now. You can see what juice is in there really easy. Really hard to see what juice is in there. I should point out that this comes with a stainless steel drip tip as standard, the one that's on there. Actually just swap those drip tips around in your mind and you'll have it right. Still has the same top fill like that, and the great thing about the top fill is it locks off the juice flow control whilst you fill in automatically just by doing that. So you don't have to like turn anything at the bottom or change anything at the bottom. It's all just super easy, and it looks like that. To change the heads, you simply just unscrew this, same as the previous, and you just pull that straight out, and then when you put this back on, you're golden. Adjust again, and you're golden. That's your iSub. So the other clearomizer they've brought out is the iSub Apex 5. So this is an upgrade to the original Apex. On the stainless steel one's the original Apex. This is the Apex 5 now. It is much taller and it has got a 5mm capacity. All the same heads are cross compatible in all of these three. The main difference here is it's got a bigger capacity and it's got a bigger window, so again you can now see your juice properly, which was my main bugbear with this one. So that is that one. So those are the ones, those are your clearomizers. The next thing to mention are the heads. You got your Clapton heads, your TI heads, and your NI heads. I'm a big fan of the TI heads in temperature control, and I'm a massive fan of the Clapton heads as a replacement to your standard iSub Canthal heads. The main reason for that is that they are vertical coils, and I'll talk about that a bit more up top. But that's your iSub range. We'll go back up top. Okay, so that was the clearomisers down low. Now I've turned to vaping on the iSub S with the titanium head. And it vapes like this. Vapes very, very well on the Cortex with the titanium heads. Okay, so going through it. The iSub S is like the latest and greatest from Innokin. It replaces the original iSub Apex. Now the Apex, I really liked the flavour, I really liked the top fill, and I really liked the way you put the coils head in and all this sort of stuff. But my gripes were the way it looked and the inability to see the juice through these weird little windows. Now they've fixed that. They've just straight up fixed that. They've got this window now. You can see on camera exactly how much juice is in there. Nice big clear windows, improved the look of it, and they've moved this airflow down here, which sort of looks more normal, and it's a better looking clearomizer. So they've straight up fixed that. Now on top of that, they've also got the Apex 5, as I've showed you up close, and this is sort of an upgrade from this. It's not a replacement, but it's an upgrade, and obviously it's got much bigger capacity and an improved window, so they've sorted that out. So if you're a big fan of the Apex but wanted more volume, this is an improvement and you get more volume. So that is that. So they are wildly better. They are wildly better. This is the Clapton head. The way it performs taste and vapor production wise is the same. The iSub S and the original Apex are the same really. The airflow is about the same size, the flavour's about the same, so that's fine because those were already good. What they've done is improve the looks, improve the capacity, and made it easier to see your juice inside as well. So that is great. Now, moving on to the heads, the Clapton heads I'm a massive fan of. I think these are a big improvement, not necessarily from a Clapton point of view, but just in general. I think these Clapton heads are better than the original Canthal heads that the iSubs came with. The main reason I think that is because they're vertical coils. Like I've said about the iSub range, there are way cloudier clearomizers out there. If you want big clouds, there's the Crown, there's the Heracles Plus, etc. But clouds aside, I think the Clapton heads are great. I really like that they're vertical. I think they vape better because they're vertical. On a similar line, we've got the nickel heads, which have been working great. Absolutely no problem with those at all. Very little break-in time, which I like as well. You can get them in 0.1, which you can go up to 520 Fahrenheit, or 0.2, which you can go into 470 Fahrenheit with. And those are the nickel ones. And for nickel, I'm not a big fan of nickel, but these have performed very, very well indeed. Very little break-in time as well, which is good. Some nickel clearomizer heads seem to take a couple of tanks to get going. The TI heads I've been particularly impressed with. I am actually enjoying the temperature control vape with the TI heads. I'm at, when I first started using the TI head, I was about 430, 440, but now it seems to settle in quite nice at the 470. Obviously it's automatic wattage with the Cortex. and you can just do that and it doesn't drop down. It doesn't feel the need to drop down, or it doesn't get too hot and start nerfing your vape. You can just vape and vape and vape like that at that setting. I think the reason for that is not particularly how well the coils are made, or how well they've wrapped the titanium or the nickel. I actually think it's the way they get the juice in. I think they wick brilliantly, and because it's always a wet coil, because it's always a wet wick, and it's always wicking fast, it's never drying up, it's never getting too hot, and it is vaping really well as a result. You know, it isn't having to drop the watts really low because it's not getting too hot, because it's staying really well juiced all the time. The best nickel and titanium coils I've used by far, by absolutely miles, better than the Crown, everything. That's just my opinion, but these Sub Ohm Clearomisers are brilliant in their own right. Forget whether you're getting it on the Coolfire 4 Plus kit, on the Cortex kit, whatever. Actually, if you are looking for a new Sub Ohm Clearomizer and you're not too worried about massive airflow and massive clouds, I genuinely think these are brilliant clearomisers, and definitely consider getting one if you're in the market for a new Sub Ohm Clearomizer. They might not be the hottest and most favoured Sub Ohm Clearomisers out there, but I think that's just lack of exposure in a way. I think the flavour, the top fill, everything it puts together, there's no leaking, there's no flooding, there's no gurgling, there's no dry hits. These work perfectly. I am super impressed with these clearomisers, and that's why they've got their own video. I will be reviewing the Cortex, and I've got the Coolfire 4 Plus. I don't know if that one's already up, but that one's coming out as well. I'm reviewing the mods, but I wanted to give these clearomisers a bit of airtime because I genuinely think they're brilliant. The iSub S in particular looks great. It performs great. The Apex one is great, but it's still a bit funny looking. But you get that extra capacity on the RX. We've got on the RX 200 this setup here, all in black. I think it looks alright. You get massive battery life and massive capacity, and there's something to be said for that, which is obviously a massive positive. If you're happy with normal capacity, these iSub S tanks I think are excellent. I've been Vick, and I'll see you again soon.